Wednesday of the 14th week in Ordinary Time.
A reading from the book of Genesis. When hunger came to be felt throughout the land of Egypt, and the people cried to Pharaoh for bread, Pharaoh directed all the Egyptians to go to Joseph and do whatever he told them. When the famine had spread throughout the land, Joseph opened all the cities that had grain and rationed it to the Egyptians, since the famine had gripped the land of Egypt. In fact, all the world came to Joseph to obtain rations of grain, for famine had gripped the whole world. The sons of Israel were among those who came to procure rations. It was Joseph, as governor of the country, who dispensed the rations to all the people. When Joseph's brothers came and knelt down before him, with their faces to the ground, he recognized them as soon as he saw them. But Joseph concealed his own identity from them and spoke sternly to them. With that, he locked them up in the guardhouse for 3 days. On the 3rd day, Joseph said to his brothers, "Do this, and you shall live, for I am a God-fearing man. If you have been honest, only one of your brothers need to be confined in this prison, while the rest of you may go and take home provisions for your starving families. But you must come back to me with your youngest brother. Your words will thus be verified, and you will not die." To this they agreed. To one another, however, they said, "Alas, we are being punished because of our brother. We saw the anguish of his heart when he pleaded with us, yet we paid no heed. That is why this anguish has now come upon us." Reuben broke in, "Did I not tell you not to do wrong to the boy? But you would not listen. Now comes the reckoning for his blood." The brothers did not know, of course, that Joseph understood what they said, since he spoke with them through an interpreter. But turning away from them, he wept. The word of the Lord.
The responsorial psalm. The response is, "Lord, let your mercy be on us, as we place our trust in you." Give thanks to the Lord on the harp. With the 10-stringed lyre, chant his praises. Sing to him a new song. Pluck the strings skillfully with shouts of gladness. Lord, let your mercy be on us as we place our trust in you. The Lord brings to naught the plans of nations. He foils the designs of peoples. But the plan of the Lord stands forever, the design of his heart through all generations. Lord, let your mercy be on us as we place our trust in you. But see, the eyes of the Lord are upon those who fear him, upon those who hope for his kindness, to deliver them from death and preserve them in spite of famine. Lord, let your mercy be on us as we place our trust in you.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus summoned his 12 disciples and gave them authority over unclean spirits to drive them out and to cure every disease and every illness. The names of the 12 apostles are these. First, Simon called Peter and his brother Andrew, James the son of Zebedee and his brother John, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the tax collector, James the son of Alphaeus and Thaddeus, Simon the Cananean and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Jesus. Jesus sent out these 12 after instructing them thus, "Do not go into pagan territory or enter a Samaritan town. Go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. As you go, make this proclamation: the kingdom of heaven is at hand." The Gospel of the Lord.
Wednesday of the 14th week in Ordinary Time. The first reading comes from Genesis 41, 55 to 57, 42, 5 to 7a, and verses 17 to 24a. In these past few days, we've heard about the saga of Jacob Now we pass on to the story of Joseph, one of Jacob's sons. The passage that we hear today already picks up the story halfway through. Joseph has been made the vizier of Egypt. He takes care of all the provisions to make sure that the people won't starve during the 7 years of leanness, famine that would come upon the land of Egypt. Well, that famine came not only upon the land of Egypt, but over the whole world, and the sons of Jacob have to come down to Egypt to buy grain. They approach Joseph, and first of all, Joseph puts them in jail for 3 days. It might be a little bit of payback for the time that he was thrown into that dry well. And then he has them come before him, and he tells them that one of them will remain as a hostage, while the rest go back and bring back their youngest brother. Remember, their youngest brother is Joseph's own full brother. He is Benjamin, the second son of Jacob and Rachel, the son who was born when Rachel died giving birth. And he's supposed to be brought down, whether it be so that Joseph can protect him or whether it be that they can be reunited. It's not quite clear. Well, what do the brothers start doing? They start saying that we're being punished for what we did to our brother. It's very interesting, the words that are used to describe Joseph's relationship to his brothers. When they sell him to the Ishmaelites, they speak about him as our father's son, sort of distancing themselves from him. Now all of a sudden, they're talking about him as our brother, and they're recognizing that what they did to him was very wrong, that they're, in a sense, being punished for it. They think they're being punished by God. They're really, at this point, being punished by Joseph. Now, Joseph is able to understand everything they say, even though they don't realize it, because he's been using an interpreter as if he doesn't understand Hebrew. So it keeps his identity hidden a little bit longer. The Gospel is from Matthew 10, 1-7. This is the call of the 12 apostles, and it's the standard list. Simon, who's called Peter. Remember, Simon receives the new name Peter, which means rock, the rock on which the church would be built. And his brother Andrew, James the son of Zebedee, and his brother John, this would be James the Greater, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew, James the son of Alphaeus, which would be James the Lesser, and Thaddeus, who in the other Gospels is also called Jude, Simon the Cananean, who in the other Gospels is also called Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot. The apostles are told to go out preaching, but not to go into pagan territory or Samaritan territory, because they're to go to the lost sheep of Israel. Remember, the Gospel of Matthew is written for Jewish Christian people, and so the message is that Jesus, first of all, had the message proclaimed to Jews, because the Jews are the chosen people, and only later to the Gentiles. And may God bless us.